Let's get back onto the Rift for game one of the group stages in Le Dark Pullman. The Summoners Cup is etched into the mid lane to remind each and every player what they are competing for and a defensive start across the board.
February was the first man in the middle lane. That means he gets the trophy for himself. For now, at least, IG gonna look to take it away from him already. Very defensive start. We see Kid sitting under his tower. This is in case Fnatic invades him on the top side of the map and start deep warding to spot where they're going. They won't see him when he's hiding here unless they just check all the way over the wall.
There are so many different lane swap scenarios, and in all of the LPL games we watched, it felt like the LPL games were the hardest to predict out of all of them. So here, it's Kid alone hiding behind one turret, which would be an indicator that they want to hide Kid up in that lane so that they can't scout where the AD carry is, but it also means that IG doesn't necessarily care if there's a lane swap or not. They're mainly just trying to deny knowledge.
And we see right here, none of the teams really invaded in and put down multiple wards, just a ward here on the red buff of IG from Fnatic, trying to see if they can spot Kakao starting on the top side of the map or on the bottom side. And obviously, if you don't see him on this red buff within the next 30, 40 seconds, you know he started on the bottom side. And that's always good information to get. I want to see if IG wants to freeze this top lane, because they are a region, or LPL is a region, where they very often focus on the AD carry experience in these lane swaps. And you can see Kid already up in this top side here, just grouping the minions together and gonna start a freeze for himself.
Let's find out how that freeze pays out. Reckless down in the bottom lane. Yellow
is going to find something here. Just a little bit late on this invade. This was mainly an invade to check who was starting. He can now ping out Huni that he did a solo start, which actually tells the rest of the team a lot. Nice steal there by Yellowstone.
But this is one of these situations where if you do not invade in at level 1 to try and take over a jungle, it's very hard for you to deny anything in the early game. So Huni got his camp, got to back down to the bottom side, and Reckless should be pushing this bottom lane if I know the Fnatic lane swap correct. And that means they're just gonna look to take over the bottom side of the map. But Fnatic at the same time, they didn't invade either. So we saw IG clear away this jungle. Rainova and Huni can only get a Grump for themselves. Everything else is cleared.
And you can see them holding hands in the bottom half of the jungle. Rainova and Huni, that is. Tower is going to be under threat shortly as Reckless continues to shove the wave up. And every time we look middle, Febiven's trying to poke out Rookie.
Yeah, this is actually where the lane swap will be made or broken. Kid is freezing in the top lane, whereas the bottom lane for Fnatic is shoving. And Hecarim and Elise are trying to cut off the Thresh and Riven.
IG can't do this. This is way too late. They're sending people down. When there's a fast push happening,
IG was slow on this
you
lane
know
swap.
There's gonna be 4 people on the bottom side. They show themselves so late that Fnatic can move in between tier 1 and tier 2 on the bottom side and zone them away, meaning Riven got absolutely nothing, and now they're late to pushing the top tower as well.
It can effectively turn into an untradeable turret, because the rate at which Fnatic got to push that lane and how they can actually bounce that wave off the turret for Huni to farm means they would be able to rush top before that turret falls.
Oh.
This is very much now IG needing to take advantage of Kid's experience advantage that he will have, because they will be down in the global gold race.
Yeah, IG won't even be able to touch the top lane tower here. Kid is looking to just maybe shove the wave out and then go back and buy for himself, because he has nothing yet. Bot lane tower didn't go down.
Bounce
Mistake
properly.
Fnatic recall a little bit too early, just got a little bit too eager in getting this lead here.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty big mistake there. Huni, if he would have gotten a little bit more damage from one of his allies before they peeled back to the jungle, they could have bounced the previous wave, which would have preempted the Zatai teleport. Now, Fnatic will have to add an extra person to that bottom lane if they want to take the turret. That sliver of health on the turret makes a big difference in the early game.
The whole strategy from Fnatic was to early take that tower and bounce the wave back so he would freeze and push away from Zatai. He would get less farm. He does have to overextend still because he's pushing down towards Huni. That's why Rainova is showing himself on the bottom side. And Kid just recalled from top lane. He didn't have enough gold for a pickaxe, so no advantage for Kid yet.
Yeah, not only is Rainova showing bottom lane, he's already used a pink ward there to give some more help to Zatai. Down in the bottom lane, Zatai's going in. He's going to use those broken wings, get some damage onto Huni, and Huni's forced to rampage away. Easy victory in the trade for Riven.
It's suddenly a problem right here for Fnatic. Because the turret was not killed, Zatai actually got to use some of his advantage. All that time investment that Fnatic put into hitting that turret, IG was using to garner experience for the majority of their team. Hecarim needs to be able to win the melee versus melee duel there, and Zatai could end up getting a lot of farm in this lane.
Now, it's not all bad for Fnatic because they got the big wave coming down to Huni. They're even in AD carry experience, or maybe a small advantage for Kid, but not enough to make a difference. You even see Reckless hitting 5, seeing as he has the big wave coming down for Kid. Yeah. So for now, it is not all bad for Fnatic, but they just lost a chance to get a big advantage. Yeah, and what's interesting here actually is that Reckless has a superior CS score to Kid, despite Kid being left alone in that top lane during all of the early game action. Fnatic actually able to push that in with Sivir, so it is somewhat a trade of lanes. And I quite like Sivir into Ashe, because you can constantly push the wave here, make it fairly difficult for IG to coordinate a proper gank, and you have the spell shield. So what Ashe would normally do is she's gonna sit fairly passive in the start of the laning phase, hit level 6, arrow someone in the face, and a TP comes in and you have a massive fight already started. Spell shield from Reckless is gonna stop that. Taunt from Yellowstar to dodge out of the arrow makes it very difficult for Kid to set it up. And now he's just gonna get pushed down to his tower over and over.
Well, take a look at the trinkets already. Featherman swapped over to that sweeping trinket for fairly early on for the mid lane, and we do see Kakao hovering in this bottom lane. Huni's gonna come out slightly ahead in that trade, as he did know Reynova was right behind the backup.
Well, also a very early Sightstone from Kakao once again. So he's going for some pretty strong river ward control. I don't necessarily expect Kakao to get in for some deep wards. And an interesting choice there. Huni had a big wave, and Kakao actually, Zatai allowed it to kill the turret, and he might look to freeze this. That's a somewhat dangerous lane unless he gets some support.
I do like the call though from Zatai just backing away, because he knows if Reynova is on the bottom side of the map, that's a 2v2 IG is not going to win with a level 4 Sightstone Skarner. So he backs away, he plays it safe, he knows the tower is too low anyway, and now we're just gonna have to see how Fnatic push up. I like the move again from Reynova. He's staying on the bottom side, and because Huni's pushing up, he can invade in.
Yeah, so this is the early mid-game power of the Elise and the Hecarim kicking in. We go all the way 5 or 6 minutes back to the beginning of this lane swap. This is what we thought was going to happen for Fnatic when IG was slow to react to the bottom lane turret push. It took a while to formulate here, but this is that early goldie that we were expecting from Fnatic about 3 minutes early.
Yeah, and Fnatic can just keep playing around the bottom side. You're gonna have Shen, who can join in very soon. He's still level 5, but about to hit level 6, and then you even have a numbers advantage. And as I highlighted earlier here, IG's bottom lane, it's very difficult for them to set up any play, so they're just gonna have to farm on the tower and wait for Skarner's level 6.
Wow, getting closer and closer for Kakao. Kid as well as Reckless hit their respective ultimates, but with Kid having that early boots, he's 500 gold behind Reckless. So Reckless is going up for that BF sword, is in fact starting to back Yellowstar. No stand united completed just yet.
And Fnatic got to push the bot lane wave close to the tower, so now it starts pushing back. One of the minions will die to the tower itself, and Zatai is going to build up a pretty large wave that Huni has to make sure he gets, because you cannot afford to fall behind in this matchup. Even see Huni. Early frozen heart he's aiming towards, because he knows the all-in from Riven is what he needs to respect.
Yeah, that one little longsword got lost somewhere along the way, but he's definitely looking like he's doing a frozen heart rush with a tiny little bit of offense early.
Well, not losing there, or not securing the tower early on may have changed the decision-making as far as Huni is concerned. He has once again gone to that bottom lane to Fisher, looking to catch that wave. And we catch a glimpse back in this middle lane. Featherman and Rookie, we've not seen them trading too often, but even on CS, Rookie's gone for a second upgrade on that Hex tech, while Featherman's about to back and spend.
A lot of the jungle pressure has been about creating space for Huni in this bottom lane with the deep wards from Reignover inside the jungle of IG. So it's kind of expected that the Azir and the Victor would just be trading farm in the mid lane. Keep in mind, this is the nerfed Victor from generally the last time we saw him in most competitive play, aside from the regional qualifiers. They're trying to play it on 5.16. So he's not getting as much early mana from that tier 2 upgrade on Victor, and will have to be a little bit more conservative with the way he shoves it.
And exactly that is a fairly big key in this matchup, because Azir with Nash's first can just keep shoving the wave without using a whole lot of mana himself. You can try and starve the Victor simply, because if he goes back to base at the wrong time, Azir is so effective as well at pushing down the tower, and that's how Fnatic can keep trying to snowball this tower advantage they already built up with the first one, and in fact none of their towers took any damage.
Yellowstar's in trouble. He's already taunted and needs to flash over the wall. Zatai's hungry for blood. He's come forward as well. Use those broken wings over 3 members of IG are nearby. Caught a glimpse of Rainover, and gents, he's actually gone Runeglaive Elise. That's a little different for Fnatic, and Rainover is traditionally one of their primary tanks.
It's something Rainover did in the first game he played Elise against Origin in the finals. It's a squishier build, but this time they actually have a tank in the top lane, so I can see him more getting away with it. The longer Fnatic can hold these lanes, the better. That entire invade by Yellowstar, while it did burn his flash, gave Huni a large amount of free time in the bottom lane, whereas Zatai has not been able to farm. So that farm discrepancy amongst top laners is only going to grow as long as these lanes maintain their current form.
And obviously Zatai here saying, I can't do anything on the bottom side of the map. The wave is going to be at his tower. I'm going to try and make a play. But Kid and Kitties are not ready to give up this top lane to him and try and swap the lanes around because Fnatic can fast push him so effectively. So he's just going to return to the bottom side. We're going to have exactly the same situation. Skarner is level 6 though, even level 7 for Kakao. So now the ganks can start happening, and oh, he's going in a Rookie!
Oh, Rookie's going to flash the cocoon. Summon a spell blown at the cost of Rainover's flash.
Yeah, even so, Rookie still has cleanse, even if the cocoon would have landed. The shuffle that Fevaben pulled from the mid lane there wasn't quite as clean as he would have liked, but they still do burn one summoner spell.
I would like to see Fnatic, though, start using this Shen. Make some plays with Huni. He's fairly strong already. He has some armor if he wants to tower dive. And whenever Riven is stuck on the tower here, you can set up a 3v1. You just need to know where Skarner is on the map.
Yeah, and the main thing Fnatic's doing with the Shen ultimate right now is just pushing up the mid lane with the Stand United in their back pocket. They are waiting for Kakao to become relevant. Even though he is level 6, he still hasn't upgraded the Cinderhulk, whereas Rainover's been sitting on his jungle upgrade for quite some time. This entire sector of the map, where because of the positioning of the mid and top laner we expected IG to be strong on, has actually been heavily controlled by Fnatic through champion select, through lane swapping, and through their play.
Exactly.
And that allows them to get the first dragon, extending the gold lead to 1,600. All of that free time for Huni is just money in the bank. And we did continue to see Fevaben pushing down that mid-outer turret. It's been chunked lower and lower every time Rookie backs.
And things are not looking to get much better for IG right now because Kid has been forced to go back at some very poor timings for himself. He had got a pickaxe and then a bit of crit the last time. Again, there's no BF sword for him. He's not hitting really a point where he's going to be very strong compared to Reckless, who's building just to fast push waves with early attack speed. Huni's going to continue doing the same. Frozen Heart is completed. They're basically waiting for Kakao to pull the trick in one of the lanes. But it's going to be very difficult for him because he doesn't know where Rainover is on Elise, and he doesn't know if the Shen ulti can just come down instantly and stop this gank from happening.
I did see the IG ward near the Gromp of Fnatic spotting out Rainover's, at least for the time being. A little bit of information to work with. And look at the bottom lane. Zatai pushing up the tower heavily, but Rainover's focus is on the top half of the map.
Yeah, and Zatai's actually taking some pretty heavy risks right now to be pushed up this far because that quadrant of the jungle that Huni has behind him is completely empty as far as IG is concerned. They're looking to make a risky play because IG has kind of lost control of a lot of this. The Vision War is being won by Fnatic, and therefore they're moving down blind, essentially, to where they want to go.
Fnatic
preempting the other side!
He is on the hunt down the cocoon! Kitties is caught, and he's killed by Rainover! First blood to the Europeans, Fnatic!
Fnatic had the pressure on the top side of the map. They push in the tower, and IG once again returned from base to that top side with Kid and Kitties, and there was nothing they could do. Fnatic has the map control, and then you can go for these plays.
Not only was it a good play, it was a smart play by Fnatic right there. The play that IG was hoping to set up was essentially the same. They were hoping a 3 or 4 man dive onto the near empty lane, but they didn't have the vision control. Fnatic did. So they made a smart, safe, well-executed play, get first blood, and now a 3,000 gold lead.
And it is so key for Fnatic that they managed to make a play on the Shen lane itself. So there's still an ulti ready for Yellowstar, which is stopping the aggression from IG. We see it here. Kitties and Kid return from lane and quickly realize our tower is gone. We're now caught in the middle, and 4 members show up. Nothing they can do once they overextend. Poor call from IG. They get punished. And as I said, Yellowstar still has its ulti ready. Where's Skarner going to go?
One unfortunate thing there for Huni is that he did not get a kill nor an assist in that, despite using his teleport. Obviously, Zatai also burned teleport amongst the chaos, and if anything, I expect IG to maybe try and find their fight around the next dragon.
A few minutes away.
Fnatic has so much vision control.
And sight ward for both Rainover and Yellowstar doing a lot of work. Deep vision thanks to their first blood earlier. And Reignover a little bit tankier, got that Giant spell completed. We did see a BF sword picked up for Kid, but Fnatic, cool, calm, and collected, slowly, you know, increasing their lead and increasing their advantage. Oh, gentlemen, Yellow Star, he fancies some
nice.
blood, and he's found Kitties, knocks him into Reckless's hands, and Feathervin will take the second kill.
And this is where things just go downhill as a support. You have no flash, but you're trying to get vision control back on the map, and then you get caught out. You're dead. Your tower now is taking damage.
And Fnatic wants more out of this. They're trying to just snowball this game out of control. They knew the flash was down on Kitties, so they got the repeat gank. Because they killed Kitties, they also get pink ward control inside the jungle of IG and are looking to push down that low mid lane turret. If Fnatic can get the kills, 3 outer turrets to 0, as well as a move on the second dragon, it would be huge.
Well, take a look at Huni. He's been caught by the Crystal Arrow. Here comes Kakao. Get over here, he screams. Stand United used to keep Huni alive. Tower is secured in the mid lane as Reckless gets that killing blow. Defensive peel from Fnatic. They're running away. That onslaught of shadows needed to get Huni away. We do see the Sun Disc thrown down for defense, and Feathervin will be able to get out. That was close, but they got the tower.
Yeah, they got the turret. Huni was trying to make a poke play, and because they'd saved the Stand United and Huni had gone for Frozen Heart for a tankier Hecarim, he was able to escape. So much burned by IG there. The Flash and the Skarner ultimate being burned in that engagement, as well as Ash Arrow, really hurts IG's ability to fight back now. 3 turrets to 0 is not something that is often recovered.
I just have to really highlight how valuable this Shen pickup is for Yellow Star as a support against what IG had built. We kept highlighting how much single target CC they had to catch out one guy, and Yellow Star could stop that. And now we see once Kakao gets onto a champion, Yellow Star is there anyway to help, Huni gets out, and more important for Fnatic, all they were waiting for the last 5-6 minutes was just these outer turrets to die. They kept having to push in every single lane. Once the towers went down, now we see them contest all the vision in the jungle, and soon there's no jungle left for Kakao to farm. It's gonna belong to Fnatic.
So Fnatic stamping authority in game 1 of groups, that 4,000 gold lead thanks to exquisite lane pressure. 30 seconds to Dragon. Jet, you'd mentioned IG may want to fight around it, but they're quite far down if they want to think about it.
Yeah, they lost their Summoner Flash on Kakao. Their ultimates will be back around the right time, but they just strictly don't have the vision control. They have lost so much map pressure to how well Fnatic has played these lanes and how timely Fnatic's ganks have been. As soon as IG looks towards this dragon, Fnatic is hoping to get more picks and a larger snowball. Kakao needs some help. Really lucky to be getting that ward down without being punished.
There's just barely any other options though for IG. Then try and go down here and try and catch out a target with Arrow and then Skarner to get that one kill, because otherwise the map is lost.
It's essentially Hawkshot into Ash Arrow, but if they do Ash Arrow, the team has to be able to follow. That's a teleport, that's an arrow.
The arrow does go on Feathervin, is instantly cleansed. Dragon secured. They turn their focus to Kakao. There's the team fight. Onslaught of shadows throws IG's backline. Zatai's forced to retreat. They've traded 1-for-1 thus far, but Reckless takes out Rookie. Now they're looking for Cocoon. It's Cocoon. Cocoon is down. Reignover gets another one. It's a 3-for-1 plus Dragon.
We talked about it here for IG. They were running out of options. This was never going to be the best one, but they had to do something. We see it right here. You try and catch Feathervin. He has a cleanse. Spell shield on the Sivir. It is impossible for Kid to find the right target, and Fnatic, they take another fight.
And what's most impressive about Fnatic's 6,000 gold lead here at 19 minutes is the fact that they didn't have to take large risks in order to acquire this. They have just been playing the lane swap game extremely cleanly. They are ganking with vision control, and they are forcing IG into unfavorable, low percentage plays. We were wondering if Fnatic would have to adopt a higher risk playstyle against these better teams at Worlds. So far, no, they're just playing amazing.
And notice here, Feathervin with the cleanse, doesn't care about the arrow, and now IG's composition, there's no real front line. Kakao is too squishy. Zitai and Kiddies are trying to be that front line for Rookie and Kid, but they die too fast and have to back out.
Specifically, IG built themselves a pick composition that relies on teleport flicks. The pick didn't work, because they were 5-man brawling into a fight that Fnatic has set up with a zone control mage in Azir. That was almost never going to be a one fight for IG because the setup was not even close to where it needed to be.
And we're not even at the point yet where Fnatic can get a QSS. And simply say also Skarner ulti, we don't even care about that on our carries, because right now for Fnatic, they can split up in 1-3-1 setups. You normally don't want to do that against an Ashe because she can just arrow out of vision, catch one guy, and then break this split push. But because again you have the Sivir, you have the Shen ulti, you have Cleanse on Febiven, nothing really hurts them from what Ashe can do to engage. And that is the main engage from IG, other than a flash ulti from Kakao.
As we've crested the 20-minute mark, Fnatic are quite infamous for their 20 to 25-minute Baron secures. There's already a pink ward in the pit. And we've talked about the 1-3-1, another option for Fnatic, play the Baron bait game. If any region knows how to dance around that objective, it's going to be Europe. And look, they're calling IG, saying we dare you to check.
And Fnatic really is far ahead. Fnatic was praised for their ability to come back in some games. The largest Fnatic was down at 20 minutes this year in which they were able to achieve victory was 4,700 gold. They have a larger lead than that over IG right now. So the chance of comeback from IG is actually very low. And either Fnatic would have to make some pretty large mistakes from here on out, or IG would just have to play otherworldly.
Small window with no cleanse on Febiven, but should be ready in just a few seconds, and then that engage option is down. Kakao has flash ready. IG needs to just pick off one target when the fight starts, and you need this Riven to be able to get into the backline and take care of Reckless or Febiven, but there's been no chance for Zitai to have an impact.
Yeah, I mean, part of this goes back to champion select, and another part goes back to the way the lane swap was played out. Kakao is not a jungler who can apply the early jungle pressure to get Riven and Edge. Hecarim then stacked armor, and it's been a beautiful counter pick from there, but now Fnatic, they're going for Baron.
They are indeed. The arrow's coming out. It's connected onto Rainova. It is in fact Febiven that secures Nash. Invictus going to peel away. That got close, and we did see the teleport come in as well.
Really strange interaction happened right there. Febiven actually put his Azir ultimate up against the Baron wall, and Kakao tried to flash over to steal the Baron, but specifically because the way the soldiers work, unless your entire model is over top of the Azir ultimate, he will get bounced back. So Kakao flashed in, immediately got pushed back, and could not smite it.
Now, we have seen IG fall behind basically from the start of the game. And that is something as a team we have seen multiple times before in the LPL. They have been so inconsistent. We just see it here again. Kakao not flashing all the way over. The way Azir
What's
wall
terrifying
works,
is he actually got his smite off.
It was close.
He did 700
it was
damage.
close.
It's just Baron was at 1,000 when his smite did 700.
But Azir wall is not like a normal wall here on the map where you can flash almost over it and you will move to the other side. If you don't flash fully over it, you will always get bounced back. But as we just mentioned before here, IG as a team has been so inconsistent in the LPL, and they've managed to bounce back then in the next game and look fantastic. For them now, they need to figure out what can they do here, but they're so far down at 22 minutes, it should be nearly impossible for this team to come back.
Gentlemen, we saw Yellowstar shoving out that bottom wave. It's a third item QSS for Febiven. Another tower falls, and for the European team on home soil, when European squads have more than 4,000 gold lead at 20 minutes, they are 42-0. And it's an exceptional stat. When you've generated an exceptional lead, another tower is going to crumble under the might of Fnatic.
And this is precisely what Fnatic is getting out of this Baron. They're getting the second-tier turrets in almost every wave. The gold difference from before they take this Baron to when the Baron goes out is going to be massive.
And when you can see the support split pushing,
Yellowstar
because
is
of
split
Baron
pushing now.
and Stand United,
he just wants to be
fantastic.
part of this. He just wants to be important as well.
He's getting the wave going. Hootie's coming in on the backside. These are indefensible outer turrets for IG.
Yeah, and of course the right call from Fnatic. No teleport for Huni, so you needed someone else to take in the wave with you. It is going to be Yellowstar. No ban of command yet, slacking a little bit on that one. If it comes in later, then there's nothing IG can do to wave clear as well.
The question marks around which IG would show up are coming to light, and the question marks about just how good are Fnatic on the international? How good are they after their boot camp? They're showing pretty good.
It's one game, but this game isn't even close. Like, Fnatic is absolutely demolishing IG right here. We obviously can't make any conclusions off the first game at Worlds when it's going to be a month-long tournament.
Wait, Fnatic didn't win Worlds yet?
Yeah, it's over. Congratulations. Even so, this early game, this mid game, the way Fnatic is playing, well controlled with so much pressure in front of the home crowd, is all very good.
I think we really can just praise Fnatic for the pick and ban phase. It looked a little bit worrisome on the blue side here, but they didn't really have anything where we felt they could see any of the soul lanes from IG. But just the fact they have this severe pick into the Ashe that completely nullifies what Kid can do with his arrow and just push him in early. The Hecarim, the melee matchup who can go Frozen Heart as well, and then Shen's support against a team that relies so much on what their top laner can do 1v1. It's just a very smart pick and ban phase for Fnatic, and they're getting rewarded for it.
One thing we did discuss about top lane being a more influential role, and the patch in general, was that it was going to be a little bit more swingy, more snowbally, because a lot of this game is about gaining a quick advantage and then trying to win within 20 minutes. In this case, Fnatic has accumulated an 11,000 gold lead only 25 minutes in, but that's in part because some of those matchups were so swingy. And instead of having, for IG's sake, a top lane tank to fall back on and create some stronger team fights, they've fallen behind on Riven, which is one of the most devastating things that have happened.
And you're falling behind on an Ashe. Your damage is not anything to write home about, and if you cannot pick off targets, your value really goes down. She's a fantastic snowball pick. Don't like her that much once she starts falling behind. But really for IG, in this situation, and what we're probably going to see for the rest of Worlds, is that the current meta is very snowball focused. You can very quickly get an advantage where you take over one side of the map and you can keep forcing plays on that side, and we're going to get these leads here. Think back to Season 4 Worlds with Samson White. How dominant they were when it came to vision control and simply forcing you out of your own jungle. That style has been now taken by most of the top teams, and they're trying to perfect it, and we're going to see more of that at Worlds itself.
You can see that massive gold difference between the respective players. It is over 10,000 gold now. Another QSS was picked up on the side of Fnatic, and Baron has worn out. So Fnatic have successfully taken all outer turrets. 26 minutes into the game, and now they've shown strong early, strong mid. Fnatic need to demonstrate that they can have a strong closing to the game. All summoners are up, all ultimates are up. The jungle belongs to Fnatic. This is what we talked about earlier with the lead that Fnatic have built up.
Yep.
Do they just play it safe and go for another Baron or maybe Aspect before looking to finish?
I say Fnatic is definitely going to be playing this one pretty safe. That's why they've had the luxury of building 2 QSSs, because the last thing they want is to have a priority target pulled into an inhibitor or a Nexus turret and get quickly executed. With Baron coming up in about 90 seconds and Fnatic having complete control of the map, that's obviously the next thing they're going to be going to take. Fourth Dragon would not be far behind that, but I expect Fnatic to at least try and make a play with the Baron buff. And if they get even the slightest bit dissuaded, I think they'd be going for Aspect, because the overall timer on that is still pretty early in the game, and Fnatic wants to keep their options open.
Just take the Baron buff, go for your 1-3-1 setup again, where you have Huni sitting in one lane, let Reckless fast push another one, and then join Febiven. And you can either dive if you want to, you are strong enough, you're far enough ahead, or you can just wait for these Baron buff minions to do the work. The wave clear on the side of IG, it's mainly gonna be on Rookie, but AP champions, they hate the Baron buff because the minions no longer will just get one shot by your E if you are the victor, and they will buy time for Fnatic to just slowly but surely poke down the towers. If an engage happens, as you mentioned, Jad, double QSS is in here, Shen ulti is gonna be there, face of the mountain. There are so many ways for Fnatic to make sure a single target will not die.
Yeah, right now Fnatic is kind of hoping in the back of their heads that IG is going to try and contest this Baron, because it would be very nice if they could pick off multiple people in IG and then just end the game instead of waiting for these Barons. But with the 12,000 gold lead, it is within Fnatic's right to just smatter this jungle with wards.
Using those sweeping lenses to clear out any vision from IG. You can see Invictus have grouped up near the north quadrant as they clear out the wave in mid. But look at Fnatic's positioning. They are tightly knit. We could be set up for a fight. That's a Sand Soldier. He's been sent forward.
Huni's coming from the flank.
Yeah, Huni is in potential flank position. IG is actually pretty far away
Look at Yellow Star.
They do not have wards on the side. Multiple flanks. They're just bailing out of here, though.
Gonna make it out. Kakao looking for more. Isn't gonna have access to that Spire just yet. Yellow Star and Reignover backs away. Gonna use the dash to dodge the death sentence. Everybody's postured very aggressively. Crystal Spire secured for Kakao Skarner. Where is Huni? Mid lane. Let's see if we can find a flanking opportunity.
No home guards from either top lane, so we're not going to see that insane flank coming in from Huni or Zitai, but both teams, they know this next fight will be the fight deciding the game. If IG can manage to win it, they will be able to stall the game. If Fnatic takes it, they should be able to push and open up the base completely. They're starting the Baron. No reason to risk Kakao flashing in and stealing it. Fibbern needs to be on point with his ulti if they want to go for
somewhat
this.
of a dangerous Baron start, but here's the teleport from Huni. He has flank.
He's found Zitai, the onslaught slows him down. Reckless has got one. Reignover flashes over the wall. He's looking for kitties. That's a defensive flash. Emperor's Divide will not pin Kakao to the wall. It's a battle on 3 fronts, and it's a battle that Fnatic is winning. That's a triple kill for Reckless. There's 2 more targets in his sight. He's looking for more. He has the tower dive. Huni is chasing Kid down. A flash away. The ricochet. It's bouncing. It's spinning. Reckless, can he get more? Boomerang's not there. Huni and Reckless are inside the base of IG.
Fnatic chase so far, and the minion wave is there. That's an inhibitor down, but they're playing the long game. They get the inhibitor and the 1 fight.
Everything counts for Fnatic. They get the kills. They get a Zhonya's as well from Fibbern. Showing off a little bit. Can go back. That's a surrender from IG. They know the game was over.
Invictus Gaming surrender, and the hometown heroes strike first blood at the 2015 World Championships.
Fnatic had a goal lead since 2 minutes into the game. They had a better lane swap. IG were very greedy with the way they moved Zitai around. He got denied. And this composition from Fnatic had all the answers versus the pick comp from IG.
Yeah, and this is a statement game for Fnatic. They made it to 5 games against SK Telecom at MSI. They went undefeated in the regular season, but then they dropped 2 games to Origin in their finals. And a lot of people are wondering how they would be able to stay